Hello! Welcome to Pint of a Story with me, Shobit. In this podcast, we bring you pint-sized stories from indie authors such as myself that you are likely not to have read before. Links to where the stories live on the internet will be in the show notes or description, and we do encourage you to click on them and read the stories for yourself. Hope you enjoyed today's story, and if you do, please share it around and subscribe if you like.
Tales of grandeur, immoral and pure, greed and secrets, passion and glory. The pulse is rising, the plot's surprising. You captivated, that's the point of the story.
Yes, that really is the point of a story, and we are back today with another one of our very short stories called At the Candy Shop, written by yours truly and first posted in May 2017 on shobitdebral.com. Your comments or feedback really do matter, so please leave some, and hope you enjoy this one. Here goes. It was always good to be back in the big house. Her grandfather had lived there most of his life till he came over to live with his son in the city owing to his failing health. Her father had spent the better part of his childhood there too. She was the only one who had never really lived in the small town up the valley and in the hills. She used to visit her grandfather often and spent her summer vacations with him as a kid. When he had finally moved in with them, they would both still visit the house every year for a month. She had always loved the colonial architecture of the place, which even the modern houses had embraced. There was peace in this town, unlike the noisy, busy city life. After her grandfather had passed, she continued to visit the house on her own every year. Her father never sold the property, but rented it out, keeping 2 rooms and an ensuite to themselves. Once every few years, her parents would visit with her, but she herself never missed out on it. It was becoming difficult since she started work a year ago, as vacation time was limited and difficult to manage, but she wouldn't give up on her annual visit. One of the attractions of her town had always been the candy shop near their house. Everything they sold was handmade and in small quantities. What used to be a big shop in its time was now only a tiny outlet. The size of the shop itself hadn't reduced. It was the cropping up of oversized stores all across town that had dwarfed it over time. The candies and chocolate in the little store, however, was something you wouldn't get anywhere else. A couple used to run the shop when she was younger. Now it was just the lady. She had found some help in a little boy who came to the town with her mother a few years back. His mother was ill at the time and did not live more than a few months after their arrival. They said the mother had fled her hometown with her son to escape her violent husband. She never knew for sure. The boy was a beacon in the shop. Always smiling, he described every flavor in a candy with mouth-watering detail to any and all patrons that visited. The lady of the shop just sat at the till and kept accounts. She was aging fast. Faster still, since her kids had abandoned her for a life in the big city that they cared for more than their mother. "Hello, madam," said the boy as she entered the shop. "We hear you won't be staying long this time." "Word still travels real fast here," she replied. "I'm only here till next week. Wish I could stay longer, but my employers don't care for wishes." Her smile was met with his. However bad life had turned out for him, she always thought it was wonderful that he worked in a candy shop. His face was always lit up with excitement when he talked about candies and their flavors. As a child, she couldn't imagine anyone asking for a better job to get by, in his situation. She felt happy for him. "What should I try this time then?" she asked him. The lady looked at them from over the counter with amusement. She knew what was coming. The boy's eyes lit up. "You have to try the little devil, that one there," he said, pointing at one of the candies. "It has cinnamon, lime, and fresh mint. And by fresh mint, I mean as if plucked minutes before it was made. It's new and you wouldn't have tried it before, since we never came up with it till the last time you were here. Then you have to try the raspberry dark chocolate. This year we've got the best raspberry produced in the region in the last decade. The berries are selling off shelves in the market like they were giving them out for free, even though the prices are way higher than last year. You have to taste it to believe it." "Sure, I'll try them," she said, chuckling. "Whatever you say, sir." "Oh!" he exclaimed, remembering something. "You have to absolutely try this year's apple sour. We have apples from another place this time, not our regular local produce. I can bet you there is no man alive who can have one with his eyes open." "That too then," she laughed, walking over to the lady. "What a delight this boy is," she said to her, looking at him over her shoulder as he skipped and hopped his way into the store to box her order up. As she finished paying for the goods, the boy returned with her candies wrapped up and ready to go. "So, which one out of these is your favorite?" she gestured. They're all my favorites," he replied, looking away. "But there must be one that you like more than others. I'm sure you have a favorite. Give me two if not one." "I don't have a favorite," he reiterated. "I'll get the other packets ready." He smiled as he walked to the back of the store again. She turned to look at the lady, hoping for reassurance that she hadn't said anything wrong. Her eyes were full as a tear rolled down her cheek. "He hasn't had a candy in I can't remember how long now," she said. "At least a couple of years, I think. He knows the state we are in, and he insists he contribute however he can." So, we hope you liked that story enough to tempt you to subscribe. We encourage you to share it with anyone else you can think of that would like to hear our stories as well. But do not forget, it is the writers that make the stories, so please read them for yourself by clicking the link in the description. That'll mean the world to us. Thank you for your time, and we hope to see you with our next. In the meantime, remember, if you can't find what you're looking for, create it. Take care.